transformation, style, attitude, strength, individuality, leadership,
pageant of queens. I am a queen and do not need the validation of others to know my worth. My name is Beauty and I leave a lasting impression on everyone I meet. Failure is not an option. I am destined for greatness and have the faith to make all things possible.
We're pageant queens, pageant queens. Inspire you to.
The time is now.
We're living out our dreams, walking in our destiny.
Let nothing and no one stand in your way.
This is the pageant of queens.
Hi, and welcome to this episode of Pageant of Queens. We have a very interesting challenge today. The ladies went to visit the doctor. Sounds like I need to go now, right? I know, but bear with me. I love the office that we went to. Dr. Chad Jenkins at Planet Chiropractic really took the ladies in, embraced them, and helped them to change their way of thinking about health, medicine, and other methods that may help them get to wholeness, not only internally, but externally. I just love the feel and the atmosphere that his office provides.
Let's do what we can. And if all the churches start thinking, you know, God didn't create junk, how much healthier would we be? I mean, the churches are dying of the same things as the non-church people because we're just doing the same things the non-church people are doing. We're taking medications. Well, the doctor said I have to deal on that for life. We never question it. When my son was in the hospital, they were giving me all these pills. And me having my knowledge now, like, what's this one for? Oh, well, that was in case he's acid reflux. I looked at the nurse like, ma'am, he's never had acid reflux, and I want him off this pill right now. And they were just shocked that I would say, get off of it.
There's always, without going into a lot of this right now, there's a lot of, there's a paradigm of medical research that's all about making money, right? Okay, so you're a healthy patient if you are spending a lot of money in medicine, right? You guys got that? Bad or bad? You know it's bad, right? A healthy patient is one without taking medication, right? You're a good patient a lot of times in the medical world or pharmaceutical companies mindset if you do take much medication, right? Because it's a multitude of money. That's why these little kids nowadays we had a little baby that she was literally 4 days old already on acid reflux medication. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, my son was like that.
4 days old, guys. What's she going to be like when she's 30 years old? You know what I'm saying? She's not going to be healthy, okay? We just know that because of all the side effects of medication. The side effects of medication is the leading cause of death in the United States. You guys realize that? Okay. And a lot of times what happens is we have one medication, we have to get another medication for the side effects of the one medication we took in the first place.
The flu shots, actually, because I create the flu shot a year before, and it's full of formaldehyde.
For me being a massage therapist, we learn a lot of non-traditional therapy.
Right.
And me having lordosis, I don't take any drugs or anything like that. I get my body fixed without, non-traditionally. A lot of people in America don't believe in non-traditional drugs. So when I started reading about Dr. Kellogg, that's the cornflake man, if y'all don't know, he's real doctor. And he took somebody from America over to one of the Western countries because they wouldn't let him do his therapy here in America. She had a maybe like something close to lupus, and she didn't want to take the medicine, so they wanted to do something. They took her over there where she was able to use her own toxins from her body. Like, she drank her own urine and did things like that. I don't know why they say that because I didn't go too deep in that because I don't want to try it.
No, I don't want to try that one.
Yeah, I don't want to try it, but they said she healed herself and she came back to America and she didn't have the disease anymore. It was like a few years later, but I was like, yeah, that's very interesting. I wouldn't drink my own urine, but
If you was thirsty,
I didn't have nothing else to drink.
Maybe the last resort.
Yeah, the very last resort.
What was that? Did she just say?
That was really interesting to just know.
But they say that's natural, though.
Yeah.
Your
They
own
say
top.
natural
It doesn't sound natural.
Drink.
I mean, I know it didn't sound. I didn't mean it like that.
I know what you meant.
Give me a little bit of your opinion on that concept.
Well, I don't know if I want to give an opinion after today, because the opinion I was trying to share didn't seem like it was kind of taken in the manner in which it was given.
Okay.
I had closure when we left the Union Mission, me personally. As far as the conversation went, this is my thing on the whole conversation, and I kind of spoke to this before. A couple issues that I have with the conversation, it's not really the conversation, it's really what led up to the conversation and what happened after the conversation.
I don't like my clothes fitting ill. I just don't like my clothes to fit improperly.
Okay.
But for some of the other ladies, I understand that they may not really understand where it comes from or why would you wear it. And if they're just not very informed about it, I don't really have a problem with that. But I do like for women in general to at least be presentable.
Okay.
So the discussion came up and it was a bit rough for a little while, but I understand why what was said,
Okay.
was said. However, it was a bit distasteful.
Okay.
At first I was very, very upset, but now, I mean, I went to church, I prayed on it. Some people say things or write whatever they want to write, and then when they in your face, they don't say it. They can't really say it. So, I mean, yesterday I was fine with whatever was said. I left it alone, and then somebody wrote something on the message board directed to me. And I didn't understand why, because I didn't take offense to nothing that was said. So I had to respond back.
Sure.
And I wasn't trying to be condescending in no kind of way to anyone, but I was just telling them in certain outfits we wear them. Because we don't wear shapers every day because they're uncomfortable, terribly. But of course, if we want to look a certain way and smoother in something,
Sure.
we'd wear them. So I'm an advocate for them, and everybody's not, but I know that I am, and I believe in them. I mean, I have like a little minor one today, but I just think that they just make you look better.
Well, absolutely they do.
And you
I
know,
agree.
and I just kind of gave the young ladies a scenario. I said, well, take a picture of yourself without it, and then take a picture of yourself with it on, and then you'll see the difference.
When things carried on afterwards, even like on the blog boards and just little shots being taken at people and things like that, that upset me. That hurt me, and necessarily those shots weren't necessarily taken at me.
And that's the other piece of this. And you know, we want you to have open dialogue. And when you have open dialogue, you grow. And just because I have an opinion doesn't mean you're going to agree with my opinion.
Right.
And I think that's the key with the blog. And I think that's what happens is you guys are supposed to put your opinions out there. And I don't really think there should be taken personal.
Well,
you know, they should be in general. You know, I mean, and I don't think, because that's where you get into the drama.
I think that because everyone has been through their own things, I think that certain people may feel a certain way because if something was said like that to them, they may have been affected that way. So I think it's more or less because maybe I wasn't included, or, you know, I wasn't around when the issue may have been brought up. Other people may have felt like, well, she's not here, you know, to defend herself. So it shouldn't have been brought up because of whatever the reason. So I feel like personally it's just, it may be more or less how other people may have felt if it was them in the position. Because I don't feel like my feelings are hurt. Like I said, you know, everyone's entitled to their opinions, and if you want to wear whatever you want to wear, it's fine with you, you know. It has to be fine with me. It's not my body, it's your body, you know.
To work on, because everybody is a work in progress.
Sure.
And nobody is perfect. So when they told me that yesterday, I didn't get upset or I didn't get offensive. I think what happened is I did get a little defensive when I thought I was being attacked just for sharing an opinion.
Okay.
So I think that's where I might have been one or two things that could have maybe been said another way, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I couldn't have said it that way. But I think I was just being attacked for just trying to share an opinion and be helpful.
So where does it stand today?
Well, nobody said anything. I'm happy. I'm actually happy. I went on the boards. The post was going. The original post was going.
Okay.
So I was okay with that, and so I assumed somebody looked at it and saw. You know, I mean, to me, I feel like everything is okay as long as nobody don't overstep their boundaries or start disrespecting. Then things should be fine. So.
Do you think anything needs to take place to bring closure, or?
I mean, I would like it to, because, I mean, the message boards in general, I think, need to be discussed, because if the journal portion is just for us to write our journal entries and how we feel, we'll express our feelings, then that's where they need to be written at. not in the fashion section, not in this and that other section, because you're not a fashion expert. We're all here on a learning experience. What make you think that you're a fashion expert, that you can go in there and tell people this is what need to happen? If that's your feelings, then write it in your journal entry.
And again, it was not me. So it wasn't me who the shots were taken at. And I think, honestly, if you talk to everybody together and everybody is honest, we all kind of feel the same way.
Sure.
So that upset me because of how this individual came and opened herself up to us and let us know her situation, her financial situation, everything that was going on. And then for someone to specifically point that out, that's hurtful.
Well, I talked to the young lady that I guess that I think they alluded to that I've kind of made feel bad, and she was like, no, it was just an opinion. You know, I just took it as your opinion.
Honestly, I didn't feel any negative type of way. You know, I feel like I've told everyone, you know, I feel everyone has their own opinion about what they want to wear, how they want to wear it, you know. That's the reason why we have options of different undergarments and things to wear. So if somebody has an opinion about something, they're entitled to that opinion. My mother's actually said the same thing. You should wear certain things, but I feel personally if I'm comfortable wearing something, then I'm gonna wear it.
So I'm hoping all the girls take it that way, because I really was trying to just be constructive about it, not to be condescending or to make anybody feel bad at all. That wasn't my place I was coming from. I just wanted them to understand contour and smoothness and making sure that we look our best. And I know when I saw the advertisement for this and I saw Queen, I said, well, I want to just make sure that I exhibit that every time I go to do something. I just want to make sure that I'm presenting, because I know that I'm presenting myself, and I always want to present myself in a good way. And you know, now that I go out, people know me from a job, and they know you from your church, and you know, they know you from a whole lot of things. So I just always want to present myself well. And I want other people, I just want all women to look pretty.
We've had dialogue among the ladies, but I don't really think there's been the ladies as well as, you know, Crystal, about the situation. So there needs to be dialogue, and then we need to put it to rest, because it's not helping anyone. We're here to build each other up, not to continue to beat each other down and to continue to let it fester, because continuing to talk about it is letting it fester.
That's right.
And even not talking about it and getting it straight, it's still going to fester.
Sure.
So I just want to see it put to rest.
Her name was Sarah Baartman, daughter of South Africa. She went to Europe willingly, thinking she would find riches and fame. They fooled her. In Europe, she found humiliation, forced to be a spectacle because many of them had never seen a naked black woman's body. They nicknamed her Hottentot Venus. They were fascinated by her large, full breasts, big hips, buttocks, and big lips. They stared, touched, and laughed. She couldn't really be human. Her skin was the deepest shade of the darkest chocolate. Her hair was a thick black cloud on her head. Doctors and medical students scribbled madly in their medical journals descriptions of her body. She was later sold to a circus where she danced naked for the entertainment of people. In their mind, her large breasts, buttocks, and her elongated labia made her inferior and oversexed. This justified their inhumane treatment. No longer wanted in the circus, she became a prostitute and later died from loneliness, shame, and disease. She had been in Europe for only 5 years and was only 25 when she died. America, I find you guilty of murder. You're slowly killing the woman with your blatant disrespect for womanhood. We have pimped our daughters and mothers for platinum record sales, new cars with big rims and mansions, while Eve's daughters drop it like it's hot for crumpled dollar bills and the chance to be nominated the year's best video vixen. We spit on Sarah Baartman's memory, and Harriet is turning over in her grave while Sojourner stands at the throne of the Almighty, praying, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." Do you?
Good evening, ladies. It was a pleasure to speak with you individually. And now we're just going to talk about a few things. All right, first of all, let's talk about the idea of what we've been talking about in terms of undergarments and the benefits to that. And of course, we know we're not talking about your basic bra and pants. We're talking about shapewear, contour wear, and different garments that are used for different reasons. Some of us use them to make us look 2 sizes smaller. And a lot of those are very harsh, and sometimes are very constricting, and they're not very comfortable. I personally don't believe in using those on a regular basis. As a matter of fact, I don't own any of those. But the second type that I would like to address is something that I feel like every woman should have in their wardrobe. Now here again, that's my personal opinion as a fashion person, but it's truly a personal opinion when you go to the store to decide if you're going to buy this object or not. And I don't want you to feel like you have to go out and buy these things, because this has to be something that's a personal choice for you. But just wanted you to know the benefits of contour wear. And typically you buy contour wear for a few reasons. Number one, if you're wearing clothing that is very thin or transparent, and a lot of times we can kind of see through the fabric. A lot of times some of the cellulite things that all women have, whether you're a size 2 or size 22, a lot of times you can see through the whites, okay? And you can see through a lot of the smoother fabrics. I believe in shapewear, and I like the look of the lines, not having the lines, the smoothness of your shape. You definitely want to consider contour wear, but here again, that's a personal choice. So I wanted to make sure, just because I wanted for you to hear it from someone that has that expertise, that there are reasons why people use it.
How hard is it for you to go to the bathroom?
Oh, well, a lot of them have their adjustments in those areas.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you don't have to take them all off. Typically, you can detach, you know, in those areas in which you use where you go to the restroom.
Okay.
So you can detach them from that perspective and then reattach them. Or you can literally just pull them down if it's easier for you. It just depends on you and what you're comfortable with. Sounds like charm school.
I know. Very crazy. The clip that you saw earlier on Sarah Baartman is one that I take personally. There once was a time when we had no choice but to be exploited and degraded as women, regardless of the race, ethnicity, or size. Why would you want to put yourself back in that position willingly? Stand firmly as a queen, be respected, cover yourself, and walk out with your head held high. That's what we're pushing here, and we're going to continue to push it, regardless of how individuals may feel about it. The ladies were given an assignment to pair up with someone and form a group, study the video as well as another video, and we're going to talk about it here. We don't have time to show the whole thing, but you can visit us at www.pageantofqueens.com and check out more footage. Let's hear what the ladies had to say.
Putting herself in that position, and I feel so bad because, you know, you do think, you know, I personally was just thinking, well, maybe if I was in her position, maybe I just felt, maybe she would have felt like, you know, she had to do what she needed to do to make any kind of money, you know, to survive. And maybe that's why she didn't go back to South Africa. Maybe that was the reason why she came from South Africa, was so she could make money and do things. And that's the reason why I see now, you know, females becoming strippers and doing stuff still like prostituting.
First, I start with the first video, which left me speechless and confused about everything that I thought and believed. For most of my adult life, I have been the girl with the big boobs and butt. It has always been my way of thinking it was okay to flaunt what I have. I have never been the type to bear all in photos and things like that, but I don't doubt that if I was a skinnier version of me, I would have. Before watching the video, I can honestly say I was ignorant to what we as black women have gone through, but I can say that I was not conscious enough to put two and two together. The story of the young lady in the video disgusts me. The fact that she left for a better life and in the end saw that all she had left was to become a prostitute really hurt my heart. I do feel things have become taboo over the years as far as how we as African American women see ourselves and allow others to view us and degrade us. It's crazy how my best friend and I have known each other for years and we refer to each other as the B word. And it was so much that for the longest time my son would address her as that word as well.
Before we were seen as weird. In the past, full figure attributes on women made them seem as hypersexualized freaks because of the fullness of their butts, their hips, and their thighs, something unusual to be exploited. And it meant that they were not good enough to be taken seriously, revered, or cherished, but to be poked, prodded, and put on display and laughed at as if you had no soul. Compared to modern day reality, we're now sought after. Women want bigger butts, fuller hips, and curves, but the hypersexualized view has grown into a massive movement that has sucked all the life out of being just a woman. and now we must be sexy or sexual. The body has taken on a life of its own, and women with such features such as a large behind, thick thighs, and wide hips are seen merely as pieces of meat. In conjunction with the TD Jakes video, as people we should not be conformed to the world and its image of what we should be as full-figured women, or be defined by the world's view of who we should be, but instead be happy and joyful in who you were shaped to. And I did a little bit of research, and I noticed that some of the really pretty clothing items that are available for smaller sizes don't always translate to full-figured women or full-figure sizes, and that's because we're a certain size. Does that mean that certain fashions shouldn't be available to us? And I found a video of full-figure women actually modeling lingerie, and it actually made me feel empowered, because this is stuff that would normally be modeled by a size 2 or a size 4. But to be perfectly honest, the average woman is a plus size.
That just the age in which she died, and just what a tragic life she even led up to that. And then when we look at the images that they portrayed of her, how when we just, some of us take our clothes off and look at our bodies, you know, we're just not that much far off of looking like that. African American women, we just have fuller breasts and hips, most of us, in, you know, that area. And just for someone else to make me think it's derogatory or freakish of nature, as you said, and for them to just have treated her in such a manner, and just to think at age 25 when she died how she felt even about herself just going inside. So looking at that and thinking about that, and then I think they tried to give her like a cute name, but then part of it really wasn't cute. The hot knot, I wrote it down, the hot knot Venus, that, you know, that really, you know, wasn't cute, because we know Venus is the goddess of love, but the other word was kind of derogatory. So they just really made a spectacle of her. And then when you click on to the TD Jakes video, and he's talking about the mindset and how we have to change our mind in the way that we think about who we are, that went back to self-worth. If we take that Sarah Barton situation and we take it, all the pictures of the magazine and the video girls and the girls half naked and all of that, that's really what these young people are thinking and are seeing. If they went back and researched Sarah Barton, then they would know from which, you know, the people thought the way our body looks is that they didn't think very highly of it. So therefore, when God says our body is our temple, then we need to respect it in that manner.
I come from a city full of poverty, people happy to make it to age 18. So I feel like you put yourself in a situation. I don't know why she left Africa to go to Europe. So I can't really say that her situation was really that bad. It could have been worse in Africa. So all we know is what we hear. You know, so by her being a prostitute, that may be a way that she wanted to make money, because it's her choice. It's her body. She didn't have to do it. And then I thought about the time. Mm-hmm. It was back in the day they were selling people left and right. Mm-hmm. They bringing people to America, and they were slaves here. You know, some people were working for 2 cents. Some people had to work for free. You know, so it was just the way that she decided to live her own life. I mean, it's really, I really can't be I hate that they took her body and done what they did to her body. Nobody should have to live like that. I feel like any person who's living, you have a soul, you have feelings, so you already know if you let it go on for this long, then it's something that you had in you. Just like she said, her sister or whoever. I have a lot of my cousins, they're strippers and all this. That's what they want to do. They put themselves in that situation, and sometimes people don't want to be helped. Sometimes people don't want to go. So if my cousin get found in a ditch somewhere because she want to be out there hoeing, all we can do is just hurt for her.
All of the contestants wrote down on an index card who they felt should go home.
We protesting right now. We like, we don't want to go.
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, I can't. It's so hard for me. I love you guys.
I love you too.
So you didn't get to see what was on the index cards, but I will let you know. There was one vote for Jessica, saying that she merely was not there and present today, so they felt she should go home. Someone else voted for Diva, stating that they didn't feel she would be able to make the positive changes in order to represent herself fully as a queen in the allotted amount of time we had filming for the show. And then there were 3 votes for Bunny to go home with no explanation on the card. Let's deliver the news.
But tonight, it was selected for Bunny.
I lost my hair at a young age of 18 years old. I went to the Marines and I became all I could be. Then I lost that becoming all I could be.
Get out.
Oh, okay.